Yeah, I think people can hear me now. If you hear anything on the background noises, it's literally my house. It has storm coming out right now. let's let's wait so more people can go. So more people can join. I don't know how many people will join right now, but I hope it's a big enough crowd. Like at least 3 people. I know that sounds like so little right now, but I know I don't know. I just wanted to talk with people for a couple of hours because now I have the time to do so while I'm on vacay. Yeah, I want to show comments. Oh fuck! I cannot do it. I forgot I now had to do so by paying. Why it's everyone? Why it's every platform now required for you to pay? Anyways, hi, yes, Bestie. Yes, Bestie. Hi, how are you? Welcome, AJ. HJ. I think this is your first live stream. Welcome. Mic is off. I know it's because of my headphones. This new set of headphones is really soft. So I have to be careful on the way that I speak to the mic. There's a lot of things that I can show right now in on the PC version because I usually live stream from my phone. We speak in tiny definitely because I'm small, I'm cute and tiny. So yeah, basically I stream from my phone. That is the way that I usually stream. So I don't know how well I'm going to stream right now from myself from my actual cell phone, but fuck it, we ball. I would be like, oh, let's invite someone over. But Danny didn't answer me. Sumi didn't feel like it right now because I told her, oh, I wanted to do a solo live stream for once. So if you guys feels like saying nothing, it's because I usually say nothing. Let's see. Yes, I have this on Echo. Yeah, this is not compatible. Design. Yes, okay. Let me check out the styles that I have. I want to fuck a little bit with the live stream. I have more options. I like this one. Ooh, I definitely like this one. I like the messages that they have. Yeah, colors. Let's put something. Yeah, I like this one. Ooh, I definitely like this one. Yeah, we're eyeballing a little bit in the live right now. I don't have a font like this. Okay, this is way better. This is way cuter. Yeah, I have this on style. This is on chat. Super push. And no, I don't have this. Ooh, oh what? Wait, this is cute. I like this. Let me put some background music. Space, wide awake, dance pop, lo-fi. Oh, I'll put some lo. Let me. Oh, this is way better. Like some little background music, some little background noise. Yeah, I think this is way better. I just saved an egg right now. Like an actual egg of like a bird or stuff, or like an edible egg. My parents gave me 2 eggs before going on their holiday, but one broke, so so now I fried it just in time before it go bad. Oh, that's a shame. You're very round too. I know. I love being round. It's my favorite shape. Yeah, because the other headphones I had to give them to my brother because his headphones also broke. Oh fuck! What was that? Oh fuck! It was like a. Oh my god! That scared the shit out of me right now. It was a huge ass lightning. We do have a circle though. Yeah, I'm good. It's apparently going to rain right now, so I'm kind of scared right now if everything goes to shit with my plan because I don't know. Okay, okay. Now it's raining a little bit, like thunder type of rain. Yeah, there was a huge ass lightning right now, and that scared me. Like really, really scared me. Yeah. So I hope nothing gets in the way of the live stream right now. But don't get I will not get my hopes up. Well, okay. Let me. Okay, I'll have to double check some stuff on the way that I want to do this live stream because there's something I wanted to do. I like something interactive and something fun, something for the girlies. So right now, I'll share my screen. Let me share my screen. Yeah, share screen. Yeah, I want to share this one. I will allow it. And right now, I will go to this one and see if y'all can see that. Can y'all see this? That blew me on Discord, lol. I pray that it go well good today. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I think now y'all can see my live stream. I think there's a little bit of a delay, but there's nothing that I can do about it. So yeah, basically the live stream idea that I had was ranking survival show groups. Yes, you're number one. I don't know how the super chat works and the stuff. Yeah. Okay, let me delete the other things that I have on my live stream. Yeah. I don't know how well it's going to go or how many people will want this idea, but I had this idea some time ago that I wanted to do a survival show like ranking of the ones that I watch right now and see how regular lineup were independent of the members that they were chosen for said survival show. So right now we have 5 tiers, and of course, let me explain the idea that I have. Again, basically, I had this conversation with a friend a few days ago on some survival shows that I watched, and said, "Okay, survival shows are big. I wanted it to have like an index opinion of how badly some members were put into the lineup because we can all agree in terms of talents of who were the most deserving and stuff, but I wanted to do something fun with some of the survival shows that I watch. As you can see in the thumbnail, my survival show expertise goes in this type of order. Those being Girls Planet, Island 2, Are You Next, and Universe Ticket. So what I'm going to do is try to rationalize how rigged or how wanted a certain member was for the survival show in question and for the final lineup itself. And for that, I have 5 tiers. The highest tier was literally it's very self-explanatory that the show was created for them and or rigged at any cost. That means that said member, like they had a vision for that member and they were going to debut them no matter what. Since Produce 48 no longer can bring members into the survival show final group, they have to find ways to make them look as viable candidates for the show. So right now, is if they had the most screen time, they were always favored by the judges, like they have certain advantages and stuff. Rigor mortis. Oh, so yeah, it's basically that. The next tier, it's really wanted. Like those members were wanted for the survival show group. Like they were angel edited. They had advantages. The judge really liked them. They were popular with audiences, but they weren't like the top priority. Like that certain member that the company really wanted to. The next tier is wanted but not a priority. That means like that member was wanted specifically by the show producers, but maybe they weren't like 50, they were like 50-50 with the fans, that they weren't super popular with the votes, or vice versa, they were super popular with the audience, but the producers were kind of meh on them, like they were kind of lukewarm on them, and they weren't like a priority for making it into the group. But if they truly wanted them, they were not going to do like a hissy fit about it. The next year I'm going to rename it. Give me a second. It's give me a second. Let me rename this here. The next year it's non-factor slash popular. What do I mean by that? Like they weren't they weren't a priority with the fans. It kind of overlaps with the tier that is above it, so it's a little bit confusing, but basically, if they make it into the group, they make it into the group. The fans weren't going to throw hissy fits about it. They weren't like, the producers were like, meh. Like the result of the members itself, not the members itself, like the result of them making it into the final show lineup, it was like, man, we wanted them, we don't wanted them. But yeah. And unfortunately, the last year, it's a meme on itself, but it's also really sad. Show won if rigging was allowed. That means that if rigging members into the final show lineup group was allowed, they would have rigged them out of the show, out of the final lineup, instead for another trainee on the finale. And unfortunately, I would do have to put some examples of trainees that they wanted instead of that other member. A little bit of a disclaimer: I didn't watch Universe Ticket. I include them because I have so much knowledge from that show through osmosis of some of my friends, and thanks to Into Orbit recaps of the show, which by the way, it was a great recap. You go watch it. Hi, Dasha. Yes, show one from Lightsome. So yeah, we'll go in chronological order, and I will try to explain myself as the best of my abilities. So don't roast me for it. Okay, the first trainee that we have, like I will be referring them as either trainees or members. So excuse me, but we'll go first with Girls Planet 99 and Kepler. And the first one that we have is Cheon. And I will put Cheon in really wanted because if you go back to the editing of the show, Cheon is probably one of the vocal trainees that had the most screen time and had the most, like the judges had the most faith in them. Like if you go to the My C performance, that goes to show that the producers really wanted Cheon. And also, not only the producers really liked her, but the Koreans specifically wanted Cheon. Like if you go back in time, like in the discussions of, oh, who's going to be the main vocal of Kepler, like in the top 26, you see either people rooting either for Bora or for Cheon. They had full-on stories for her also to, like the voice cracks, the loss of confidence. So yeah, I think this looks really fair for myself. If you go to see in the finale to how nobody expected Cheon to be first, like that was them mostly from the Korean votes. And I think she's also one of the one of the top niners, one of the most consistent ones in the show. So yeah, I think this is a really a first spot for her. Next one we have Bahi. Mm, I'm debating. I'm debating because mm, I'm debating on where to put Bahi though. Up, I am from now I put it in a non-factor, not because the producers didn't want Bahi, but I think the fans were the ones that didn't want her in the first place. Like if Bahi were to make it into Kepler, which she did, they were expecting her ranking to be like that much higher than she was. Maybe they were expecting her to be the last member club, but not in the top two showdown. You know what I mean? Because the producers really tried to hide her from most of the show, which is it created the economy because they wanted her through osmosis because of TXT popularity, but they didn't want Bahi herself. They barely showed her. Yeah, exactly. Most of the Bahi screen time was, or if not all, was only going through to things relating to Kai. I don't think we see much screen time until the Shine performances and the OO performances, where she actually got some decent screen time. But even then, the most screen time I remember Bahi getting was during the shoot team arc, where they go to someone's house. That's the correct here. Okay, next one we have Jujin. And I'll put Jujin in one, but she wasn't a priority. The thing with Jujin is that she was going to make it no matter what, because Koreans, international K-pop fans, and Cheshires were rooting for Jujin. Like she was the one of the main characters of the show, and there was no way in hell with her reputation in the industry that they were going to evil edit Jujin. She had a bunch. She was one of the trainees with the most screen time across all missions. The producers really respected Jujin because of her experience, but they wanted also to push her out of her comfort zone. But it's clearly that the audience itself liked Jujin more than the actual producers of the show. Because if it weren't for them, they were like, Jujin can make it, they cannot make it. But and at some point I feel like they wanted to edit her in a not favorable way, but they couldn't do that because we know Jujin. Yeah, especially with the whole cell arc and how many people were rooting Jujin to make it into the final lineup. Yeah, I think I'm debating into the non-factor too because this is all speculation from my part because the producers didn't seem like they wanted her. They just wanted her name recognition, but it's very clear that they wanted her in the lineup. Like at least the audience wanted her to be the center. She's in a good chair at the moment. Because it's ages. Yeah, that too. Okay. I didn't want to go this controversial into the lineup at first, but what else can you do? Dion was there was a reason why the show was called Dion's Planet at a certain point. Like no shade to Dion, love my girl, but it was clear that she was the main character of the show, and it wasn't a problem if they wanted to make her the main character of the show. But the way they want about it, especially evil editing certain trainees to make her look better, especially Chai Bing, like they they wanted to make thankfully for Dion, she during the creation mission. I think yeah, that's the second round, the creation mission. In the dance performances between Salute and Ice Cream, a lot of people were rallying for her to win because of her angel editing. And a lot of people started voting for her thanks to that edit. Like, it wasn't like Dion wasn't popular before, but it really goes to tell how much editing can make for a certain trainee. Like, especially, again, with Chai Bing, how much people were putting them against each other. Dion's mom featuring the contestants planet. I was kind of confused when some girl visited her mom, not gonna lie. Yeah, I wanted to rant about that a little bit. The fact that they went to a single trainee's house, like not any trainee, but Diane specifically, when she had a lot of screen time, she had a lot of angel editing, she had a lot of positive reaction from the contestants, from the producers, from the mentors itself. Why not make shoot team visit their families? Like make them a cute little trip where they bring out their parents or stuff like that. I don't know. I just get frustrated because if it was only the angel editing alone, I wouldn't have a problem with Diane making it so far into the ranking. But it was very clear that they wanted her in the lineup. Like at least make it not that obvious. Yeah, they were too strong on Dion's angel editing. I think the audition was enough by itself. She would have made it organically without angel edit. And that's the thing, because a lot of people would argue that Dion wasn't really that popular in the beginning. Like Koreans were on her side, but international fans, they stopped voting from her altogether after the ice cream salute fiasco that happened. But yeah, I think this is an appropriate spot for her. No hate to Dion, like no hate to her. Again, another claim that I have to make: the trainees that go into the top tier, they're not at fault whatsoever. It's the companies, the producers, and the show itself. They don't have none of the limb out here. What was the ice cream fiasco? So basically, the recap of the episode is, uh, they were having a dance battle, not like 9 versus 9. Chai Bing was the leader of her team. She was the leader of Salute team, and Dion was the leader of Ice Cream team. And Chai Bing was what that was the moment where they Abel edited Chai Bing, making her like look selfish, like she wasn't a good leader, like she was always offbeat, and that she only was popular because of her visuals and stage presence. And they paired her in contrast to Dion, where she was also the leader, but she offered herself to be the leader, and she was like, I think Dion it's a good leader for her teams. Like throughout her time on the show, she was a good leader. But the way that they use certain trainees like Ruan or Winse Quince to make her look better in the confessionals was really telling. Why would you hate on Dion for that? I, I don't know. People are crazy. I remember people liked ice cream a lot, yeah, and especially because people liked the ice cream performance a lot. A lot of people were like, okay, why Salute Team won? Like, why Salute Team won? It's not like they had the most popular trainees. Like, neither the trainees from either Salute or the or ice cream was really that popular. I think the most popular trainee in Salute was Chai Bing, and the most popular trainees in ice cream were Maya and Bahi. They got borderline aggressive with the editing. Period. Screaming Dasha. Period. So yeah, I think this is an appropriate spot for her. Like no hate to Dion, like whatsoever. Love that girl. Love that girl. Next one, it's Youngun, and I think hmm, this is an interesting one because if you see a lot of people talking about Youngun in retrospective, a lot of people were not expecting her to make it into the lineup. So I will put her in one it, but not a priority. I think Jungkook was probably one of the most deserving all rounders of the show. Like she used every mission to show herself. Later we can talk about it. Don't worry. I will go into a tangent of some trainees that I wanted to make them in each show. So yeah, I think Jungkook was wanted, but she wasn't a priority in anyone's list. So it was a shock when she made it that high up in the ranking. I think Jungkook's popularity is skyrocketed after You Plus Me. Ironically, like after the finals before the final stretch of the show. What groups is she in? Oh, we're talking about Kepler right now. Oh, you mean Maya? Maya is in Odd Youth. Wait, let me give me a second. I always thought they didn't want her, but they just needed a vocalist. And yeah, and the other vocalists were not going to make it because Bora was not that popular, and they even edited Suruchi. So yeah, I think she was wanted because she was kind of popular, and her popularity skyrocketed after You Plus Me. And a lot of people were thinking that, oh, we need another all rounder, someone that can complement the group better. And that's why they started voting for Jungkook. So yeah, I think this is an appropriate spot for her. Next one is Jessa, and I think Jessa was really wanted. Like Jessa got a lot of decent screen time. She also got a storyline. I the most prominent storyline personally for me, it's I remember herself during Fiesta Team One that herself had a trainee that was struggling, and thanks to that, she also got Angel edited. Thanks to that, because she was a hard worker and she picked herself. Like, who was in Yeso? So I think there were Yeso, Mashiro, and Huan Qingxiao. Yeah. So thanks to that, a lot of people started rooting for Yeso. Like, oh, for little baby. And also Jessel was really super talented. Like she was always taking spots as the center thanks to her strong stage presence. So yeah, I think she was really wanted by both the audience and the producers. And she was always delivering too. Like if you see her just in her performances, like her audition with Crazy by 4 Minute, Fiesta Team One, Destiny, Utopia. I think she was always willing to stand out and great for the betterment, work for the betterment of the team. So yeah, I think thanks to her hard work and her good edits, I think Jessel would have made it. Oh, also, and I forgot to mention this fact. This fact, Jessel came from another group, Buster, so that might help a lot because a lot of people didn't want Jessel to go back to that group. Was very pushed to make it. Yeah, she Jessel was, I think, in a she was in the first top nine, I think. Yeah, she was the second place in the first top nine. Next one, we have Hikaru. If there was any mind that they didn't want Hikaru, okay, now I'm struggling because rethinking of the show, among the most popular Japanese trainees, Hikaru was really the most popular. But I will say that they wanted her most for her appeal instead of her talent. But she was still really wanted. Out of all of the Japanese trainees, Hikaru was the most wanted by the audience. Yeah, because if you see her performances, I'm basing this on the performances of what I remember. A lot of people fell in love with Hikaru because of her stage presence. And she was also one of the few Japanese contestants that had any significant screen time. Mm, what else can I talk about Hikaru? Because I don't remember her getting any like prominent storylines besides in No Excuses. We had to to help Huang Shige to learn the choreography. I don't remember her getting that much storylines. She was always getting praised by the mentor. She was probably the best dancer of the entire show. She was also one of the few prominent rappers. She also has magnificent stage presence. She was also popular. So yeah, I think this is his fair spot for Hikaru. I never understood the hype around her. Wait, explain. I want to know. I want to know. Why did you feel like I remember people thinking she'd be in XG. Yeah, also too. I think the association of her training with the XG girls helped out a lot of after Kepler. Not before Girls Planet because we didn't know who XG were before Girls Planet. It was agreed upon from the show that she was supposedly the best rapper in the show. I don't think she was the best, but she was one of the most prominent. Because who else was rapping on the show? I remember Chai Bing being a prominent rapper. I remember the We Are girls, Cotone. Her size makes her look awkward in the group. It's not that she's bad or anything. She just looks out of place. Plus, her vibes are too different for the other group. Too baddie. Oh, hi, Nyan Chantix. Welcome to the stream. I meant like the lore of the show. She was supposed to be the best. I don't. Again. I know jack shit about rapping, especially K-pop rapping. But it was. I think it was agreed upon that she was one of the most prominent because she was always be in the rapper position. So yeah, I think this is a first spot for her right now. Next one we had Mashiro. I think Mashiro was wanted, but she was. Or no, I think this is the first spot for her. I think this was a I think Mashiro making it was a non-factor for Mnet because Mashiro was popular with the audience, but she wasn't popular with the mentors herself because I don't remember a lot of praise for her specifically. I just remember her arc in the Mafia in the Morning performance where they say, "Oh, the performance is too boring. You need to reevaluate." But I also a lot of people in the audience respect her Mashiro's work ethic. That's why she was popular with the audience, and that's why they wanted her to make it. Oh wait, I remember a storyline for Mashiro. I remember a storyline. Wasn't she supposed to be in ITZY? Didn't she train with the ITZY girls? I think that also helped, like through osmosis. Oh, she like the ITZY association thing, similar to how Chaeyoung had the ESPA association, or how Eugene had the CLC association, or how Pahi had the TXT association. Yeah, I think because the show really wanted Yurina to make it, but they weren't expected for Mashiro to be more popular with both Koreans and internationals. No, I think Yurina was more popular with the internationals, but not much as with Koreans. Well, Mashiro was kind of 50-50 on her popularity ratio. She had both Koreans. She's also extremely popular in Japan. She was also the leader position. Groupotism. Stop. Oh, I'm gonna coin that. I'm gonna coin that term. That is perfect. Yeah, I think Mashiro's most popular storyline was how she always made it into the group as the leader. Like she never lost a challenge, which is insane to think about. And she was always the leader of her team, which made her reliable. So yeah, I think this is a first spot for her. I'm really debating on putting her here because of what I said. She was one of the few Japanese trainees that she had prominent screen time and she had a storyline, but I don't think the producer itself wanted Mashiro. But they definitely she was popular, so she either was going to get a few spots from the boot or making it. And then we have Shating. Shating was the only Chinese trainee that they actually liked, and I'm going to die on that hill. I'm going to die on the hill that that Xiaoting was the only Chinese trainee that they actually liked, and they were pushing for the group. From being always put in the center of her performances, except for Utopia, except for Destiny, the Destiny stage, she was she was always put in a positive light compared to the other Chinese trainees. Okay, you later put me on that tea because I want to know that tea. We can later discuss that. But yeah, Shouting was probably one of the quote unquote only like talented quote unquote talented Chinese trainees that they were pushing from the show. They were always pushing her as this visual with magnetic stage presence, and she was probably the biggest victim of the finale voting ratio because shouting was probably the most popular trainee internationally. But although she was popular in Korea, there were other priorities for Koreans, like making the Koreans make it into Kepler. Yeah, I still don't know how shouting was fumbled into making it into ninth place. To be honest, when we got the top two, I thought she will be top two. Loki was Loki shocked she was ninth. Yeah, and she was the only Chinese trainee that wasn't evil edited. Besides Sushi Yin, but the but she was the only, I think, the only Chinese trainee that wasn't evil edited and was prominent in the storylines of the episodes. To be honest, I felt like me, either you go the Chinese member. They decided there could be only one non-able Chinese trainee in the show, and the crazy thing is that they were pushing other Chinese, quote unquote, pushing like gigantic quotation marks in the show, um, because she was popular. Like shouting was the most popular. They were I think objectively there were other more talented Chinese trainees, and more notably Surichi. But after Surichi's evil edited and how she was threatening a spot of the Koreans in the top nine, they were going to evil edit her no matter what. They organically it would have been Jurina number one and Shouting number two. So I don't know what on earth happened. The 50-50 Korean global voting ratio that happened. I feel like it was Jurina over Shouting, not gonna be honest. But there was the two most favorites. Like if it was Jurina, if Jurina would have made it, she would have made it in with Dion into the highest tier. Because we can debate all we want about how certain Chinese trainees were evil edited, the Liang twins, um, Jianing, Chai Bing, Surichi, or how they were edited in a positive light, but they weren't prominent in the episodes, like Sushi Ying, Wen She, and Xin Xinhui. Oh gosh, I don't know how to pronounce Chinese names. Guys, give me a second. Hey, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. The thing, I mean, I know Chinese people would have been so much. Chinese names are hard. Trust me, girl, they are. So yeah, I think this is a perfect spot for them. They're tricky. Definitely, they are tricky. Okay, now we move on to Island 2, which Island 2 was boring, guys. Like I remember watching it as of part 2 airing, and it was boring, boring, like super boring. But we have to make do. Okay, first we have Jungkook, and I think Jungkook was wanted by the producers, mainly the producers, because if you see the audience votes, you could see that thanks to controversies that had nothing to do with her, Jungkook's popularity like tanked for a little bit. Like thankfully she made it to number one, and Jungkook would have been my number one pick on the show because she was probably the most talented trainee out of the entire pool. But I think she was mainly liked by the producers because she was always pushing to this super high main vocal position that could do any high note. She could do can adapt to any song. She's an all rounder. She's an amazing dancer. She has amazing stage presence. But if you see the votes, like especially the Korean votes, Koreans didn't like Jungkook as much as Mnet thought they were. She was mainly carried by international popularity. To be honest, the last survival show, K-pop survival show I watched was Girl Planet, and I don't blame you for it. I just remember my shouting in Jurina concert, my dream duo. Oh, trust me, we were robbed of that friendship. I don't even know the names of the rest of the girls here. Don't blame you, Dasha. I'm just talking about noise right now. So yeah, if you remember, for the people that watch Island 2, that are on the chat, because if you see, they were always pushing Jungkook into this narrative. Besides the Jion drama, which we will get into more. Besides the Jion drama, she was pushed as this main vocal, star quality candidate for main dancer, all rounder that can also rap, that she can be a leader too. So yeah, I think that was why Jungkook was pushed out of the show, pushed more in the show. Like nobody expected her to rank number one, but again, probably Mnet wasn't mad about it. They were just shocked that she was the winner of the show. Next one we have Jimin, and I think I'm debating again because realistically, Jimin could be in either of these three tiers. If, based on your interpretation of the show, I will put her here because the editing on Jimin on part one versus Jimin on part two, it's totally different. Jimin was forced throughout our throats in the show, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. Because I think why Mnet wanted her was to feed off of eyelid and high brand recognition. Because for those who don't remember, when I get into the eyelid portion of the live stream, I will have to elaborate a bit more on that. But if you all don't remember, Jimin was a contestant on and Are You Next? She made that through votes into the eyelid's final lineup, but she wasn't picked by the producers of the show to make it into eyelid. Again, I'm debating because if you look into any interpretation of the show, you could see if you base this on part one, they wanted Jimin, but she wasn't a priority because they wanted to see her fail. If you wanted to see her from the point of view of part two, you could argue that they wanted Jimin to be this magnificent center that can can overcome any struggle that comes her way. But personally, I will put her here because despite being the quote unquote main character of the show, I think Jimmy wasn't as pushed by the audience of by the audience itself. Like the producers really wanted her because of her popularity, but not because of her talent, mainly because of her visuals, stage presence, and because of her previous popularity. Like they wanted to feed off out of her brand recognition that she had. Also, Island 2 is Island. No, Island 2 is Isna. Now we're ranking Isna now. Island is Are You Next? Now, don't worry, don't worry. We'll guide you through it. Next one we have Yoon, and I think Yoon was a non-factor. This will probably be my hottest take, but Yoon was a non-factor for them because if you see the first episodes of Island, they were like, oh, Jiwoon on this charismatic vocal color that can be the lead vocal of the show. Yes, you will hear me. Let me have my sinful high moment. Let me have my sinful high moment to me. Let me cook. Let me cook. If you see the first episodes, they were willing to even edit Jiwoon for the benefit of Jungin. They were wanting to prop her out as the vocal color, main vocal, as the high notes all rounder main vocal. They wanted to prop up Jungin so much that they were willing to let Jiun into the dust. That wasn't until the vocal round where she performed I Snow Sleeps with Minso. Then Jiun's popularity skyrocketed. Like skyrocketed. Like you'll have no idea. She bodied that song. She she carried that performance. Like no shade to Minso, love Minso. She was one of my original picks from the show, but she was that girl for that performance. And when you more advance into the show, the producers had to change on she on had to change the editing to make Jiun look better because they were expecting that both Koreans and internationals were on her side after the Jiun Jungkook debacle. And after that, you can see that they wanted to push Jiu more in out of her comfort zone. Like they wanted to see if she would step up to the plate and be that girl, or she would just crash out and burn, like she did in the like UA performance. Especially during her editing in during I Am the Best, where she helped out Mai when Soo Young made her comments about Mai's vocals. They showed her as this stand-up girl, that she had integrity, that she was willing to help out her other teammates when she went to out to Mai and practice with her vocals. Her popularity skyrocketed after that. And after the debacle with Jungkook during the If I Were a Boy um, stuff, the performance, she carried also that performance. She was really popular by the audience because, and now you'll see people arguing with me, oh, maybe she wasn't that popular. No, June was probably one of the most popular Chinese I've seen so far in my survival show experience. My brother is in front of me, he's dancing. So yeah, if you can, she wasn't a woman of honor, integrity, and class. And the craziest part is that in the finale, she shaded Mnet. They were like, there wasn't any evil edit. That was just in my personality. Oh gosh, I will miss June. I miss her already. Yeah, organically she would have been number one. Like Koreans were writing for June. So yeah, I think this is a first spot for her. You could see that the show was created for June at some point because of the edit, because of the change of the editing. But I think Mnet not didn't want June. The producers, the contestants, the audience loved June, but I think Mnet itself they didn't want her, and she was just that girl with the audience. They wanted, they wanted June, and I don't blame them for it. Like, have you seen my girl? Oh gosh, now I'm sad. I want. Oh gosh, now I'm sad. Okay, now we have Coco, and I think Coco was really wanted. I think Coco was a little bit overshadowed in the first part of the show, but during I Will Always Love You, during the position battle, she got a lot of support from the audience. The producers really wanted her to make it into the show, and especially during part 2 when they were like kind of seeing around who will fill up the main dancer, the main rapper role. I think Coco's personality put her over the edge for Juwon, Sooyoung, and Juju. And let me explain why. Juju was wanted by Mnet, but and she was kind of popular with the audience, but she was kind of like 50-50 because she didn't have a strong one one pick, but she was at overall top 6 by the audience. Juwon, they didn't want Juwon in part 2. They wanted Jui so bad. I can feel it in my bones that they wanted Jui to make it into part 2. But unfortunately, Juwon, well, fortunately for me, because Juwon was one of my favorites, but unfortunately for the producers, they didn't want Juwon. Like they were like, oh my gosh, she's so talented. Oh, she's going to get eliminated in part 1. Oh, we'll miss her. She'll probably debut in like 1 or 2 years from now on. But Juwon making it into part 2 was not part of their plans. And Sooyoung was popular with the audience. The producers never really liked Sooyoung, to be honest. But after Mike's comments in the evil edit that happened with that, after Sooyoung's comments to through Mai and her evil edit from that, they were like, okay, we need another main dancer because the one is not popular with the audience, and the one that was popular with the audience, it's kind of a mean girl. Not like mean girl, but like she was kind of rude and expressing her thoughts to what's her teammate with with other contestants. I never saw the vision with her as well. LOL. I think I think Coco was wanted because of that, because of her hard work ethic, her amazing dance skills, her math stage presence, and that she could kind of rap because admittedly, Coco is not a very skilled rapper, but she is a a personality driven rapper, kind of like a Lisa, where like we know that Lisa isn't the best rapper, but her personality and her stage presence carry her through. We love a mean girl. I love Sujong. I love Sujong. If you don't feel organic on stage, you're not my pick. That was the thing because I arguably for me Coco was the best performance in the show. Like if you see her stages, for me personally, like her spicy stage and Lopsy Girls, ooh, ooh, she was that girl. Oh gosh. Okay, now we have Sarang. And Sarang is in a tricky position because because you could say that Sarang wasn't wanted by the audience, like she wasn't a priority for the audience, but the producers really like Sarang. So she could go either way for here. I will put her here for now because Sarang was an all-rounder of the show. She had visuals, she had stage presence. She was probably the most well-rounded trainee out of the entire pool. Yeah, the producers wanted her a lot, and when I mean a lot, it's a lot, especially during her mistake arc, which I hate to call it that because Sarang is my bias in Isna, but I hate to call it that. I have to be objective. Sarang shouldn't have gotten that high scores from the mentors after having two voice cracks in a row. Like I don't think Sarang is a bad vocalist, but she clearly suffers from stage fright and giving parts that weren't suited for her voice. But a lot of the producers really wanted her more so for her appeal than in her talent. Like she could fulfill any role in the final lineup. But a lot of people didn't expect Sarang to make it per se. They were maybe expecting Sebi to make it. We will get into Sebi in a bit. But yeah, I think this is a first spot for Sarang. I could completely see this for her because the producers really wanted her. And she was probably the most obvious producer pick after Foucault. I'm waiting for someone to fill in the last category. Oh, trust me, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But yeah, I think either way for this or this, you could see that for Sarang, and I wouldn't blame you for it. But personally, I think she was wanted, but she was not a priority for the audience specifically. And then we have Mai. I'm sorry, I have to say it. I have to say it. I have to say it. I think Mai wouldn't have made it into the final lineup if it were for the producers. It's like I know it. I know it in my bones that they wanted Fuka. Like no hate to Mai, no hate to Mai. I love the girl. Amazing work ethic, gorgeous as hell. She's always willing to improve in whatever the hell she needs to. But I felt when you see the producer pick, like the producer pick in the final lineup in the finale, you see that the producers are not happy to be announcing Mai in the final lineup. Like I could feel it in my bones. Like you see 24 and Vivian, and they were not happy to have to announce her. Like the only person who was happy to announce her was Taeyeon, which was crazy. And also the audience didn't want Mai either because they felt like she was not up to par. Like talent can be measured and in it's both objective and subjective, but the audience didn't want Mai. But what happened? What happened? Let me cook. Let me cook again. Let me cook. Don't put me to the stake. Don't put me to the stake. After Sujong's comments, the outpour support for Mai increased. Because okay, if a contestant thinks like that, what does that mean for this contestant in specific? Me before seeing the video, a lot of Regan smelling the someone sent me that. Oh my gosh, wait. Regardless, she make it then because of popularity and visuals. Again, the most argument that they wanted for Mike to making it, exactly like with Jimin, they wanted to feed off her visuals, stage presence, and popularity because I think Mai had a good foundation of popularity in the beginning of the show because a lot of people were like mesmerized by her beauty, which I don't blame you for it. The girl is gorgeous. But did we watch the same shows? Yeah, we watched the same show. and I have a different interpretation of it. My was a producer's pick. They wanted her in the show so badly. I don't know. I can feel I divide in the producers. If you see the final scene in the lineup, like the producers' faces, like they don't seem happy to announce it. Like I know in my bones, I know it in my bones, and I might be a little bit crazy to think that, but I know they wanted Fuko. I know it to get the gasoline extra. Stop! 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 Oh gosh, no! Stop it! You got the director's cut. That is crazy. I love that comment. Oh gosh. I think they wanted both. Yeah, definitely. Like I know like I can see the argument like completely. I can see the vision 100,000%. I can see the vision that the someone in that producer's pool wanted my, but I don't know if it was the majority. That's what it's conflicting for me because I don't know if she would have made it because yeah, we had the votings to go for, and especially because a lot of one picks dropped Fuko out of her their voting pool. But I don't know. I'm conflicted on my. I'm a bit conflicted. No, like super conflicted. Not a bit. What am I saying? What am I saying? I'm super conflicted on my because I could see an argument because that she was a non-factor or that she was really one about the producers or that she wouldn't have made it if or they would have pulled her out of the final lineup. My is still red, lol. I don't know. Like, are you really rigged at any cost if the audience don't want you? Like at least for Dion, we can say, oh, a lot of people did what Dion because of her angel edit, her work ethic, and I could see that arguments sing for Mai too, but I don't know. It's so interesting to see how people watch the same show and have two different conclusions. Exactly. Well, that's how Mai made it. I'll go back to Mai. At the end of the live stream, I'll go back to Mai. I promise. I haven't seen the show, so I don't know. Again, I don't blame you for not seeing the show. Mai got the most angel editing too. Oh, how she worked hard, never complained. Yeah, that too. I remember she having a lot of positive screen time. Hmm. I'll go back to Mai. I'll go back to Mai. I promise I will. Don't worry. Okay, next one we have Sebi. And I think Sebi was really wanted. Like this is the most straightforward I wanted. The audience wanted Sebi. The producers also wanted Sebi. Like they were the competition between the centers between Jimin and Sebi was crazy to see. And I think people were comparing like Sebi and Yuri because they were the youngest in the finale. Well, them and Jonghyun and Juju, they were the youngest contestants in the finale. So there were a lot. Jonghyun was competing with Jiyoon, Juju was competing with Coco, but Sebi was mainly competing with both Jimmy and Yuri, in my opinion, because Battle of the Centers. If you see the show, you know that these two got put in a lot of center positions. And also they wanted Sebi because of her visuals. But I can see an argument. I feel for bad for Sebi in the finale because she should have organically made it, but Sebi got a bit lazy both at the prior episode and she got the votes a lot. Yeah, I've seen um yeah, I've seen a recap of the show also um to make myself more familiar with the show again, and I can see that thanks to her great stage presence that she was able to overshadow Jimin. Like Jimin was probably the most. No, you know what? I put Jimin on the highest tier. I'm talking myself through it because thanks to her great stage presence, she she overshadowed Jimin's job, and maybe I'm onto something, and the reason why she doesn't get as much spotlight nowadays on Isna, it's because she wasn't like really wanted. She was really wanted, but the producer was like, "Oh, we want Jimmy as a center. We can't have anyone that can overshadow her." She was really portrayed as a child that episode prior. I mean, she's 16. I can't blame her for it. But yeah, I think Sebi was really wanted. She was the visual magnet of the show. Like they wanted. My mom is saying hi. Say hi, chat. Yeah, I always said Sebi was the better and more organic center. Yeah, fair, fair. Okay, now now we move to Are You Next. First, we have Wani. Um. Okay, now I'm debating again. I'm debating again. I'm debating again. Oh God. I'm debating. Where do I put Wani? The only thing I know about the show is that Wani was apparently very popular. Oh, trust me, she was popular. Like, I think the most popular trainees in the show were Jiwoo, Chanel, Minju, Yuna, and Wani. I know nothing about this one, so I'm quiet. I remember somewhere mad Wani made it. Again, Wani was Angel edited to Hell and Back. She was probably one of the most comfortable vocal contestants that they had for the show, and they were willing to show her improve, make her look good throughout the show. And fair enough, Wani did improve at the tail end of the show. She improved a lot. Like if you compare to her fearless performances in My Bag and Dream of You Too, Aim High, Feel Special, and Aim High, Feel Special, and Scrum, you can see that she improved a lot. But also maybe it's because the concepts that she was working on wasn't to her strong suit. Because if you see one he performed in lighter concepts compared to dark ones, you can see that she works better in those. But yeah, she was Angel edited to Helen back. She had a lot of screen time, maybe the most screen time of any contestant in the show. And I know the hate train as towards Wani still going strong. Me pointing out the flaws of the show doesn't mean that I hate Wani. I love the girl. She's so cute. She's also a really strong, potent vocalist in fifth gen. She has the potential to become an even better vocalist than she is right now. But we cannot lie ourselves and think that she wasn't rigged at any cost. I think, and I think what pulls the name on the coffin is that the fact that one he won Are You Next. One he sings. Yes, she sings. Yes, she sings. She sings. She got so soon vocalized an eyelid. I know it's crazy. If you compare her to the show, where she got, let's see, she was a lead vocalist and lived in Dreams Come True. That was her audition. She was so vocal in Across the Universe. That was a vocals focus song. I mean, her name is One He. Stop! That was such a bad joke. Yeah, she got a solo OST, Sumi. That, that was such a bad joke. I'm stealing it. That was such a great show. That was such a bad and good joke at the same time. Oh gosh. Anyways, so yeah, I think Won Hee was probably the most wanted trainee out of the entire pool. Besides one that we'll get into later. So yeah. Next one we have Jungso, who's currently in an all-day project. I think Jungso was really wanted. And I say this mainly because of the audience, because a lot of people fell in love with Jungso's stage presence during the Money performance. And we seen the girl and we're like, oh wait, this girl can perform. And I'm like, yeah, she was a standout during her audition and her first performance on the show, but she was also really, really that girl. So yeah, I think This is also a straightforward one. People love Jungso. The producers really liked her. No wonder why she got second place in the finale. So yeah, fair. Next one we have Minju, and I think Minju was a non-factor for the producers because Minju was really popular, like really really popular with both Koreans and internationals. Like people wanted Minju. Wait, what is wild? That they wanted? Did they wanted Minju? No, they didn't want her, and which is crazy because Minju was probably one of the most talented trainees of our next. I know, I know a lot of people. They heard Minju and didn't push her. No, they didn't push her. Like compare her audition in Bad Girl, Good Girl against Jimin and Yuna, where most of the screen time went through Yuna and Jimin. They didn't push Minju at all, which is crazy to think. Minju was just that popular with the audience that like they, and they had no in the finale. She was the first one picked by producers pick. Guys, give me a second. Okay, as I was saying, the audience really loved Minju, not liked loved Minju, especially during the final stretch of the show, like during I Don't Care, um, what was the top songs finale, Scrum and Feel Special. Like they really wanted Minju to the point that she became the center of the finale song in Desperate, which is crazy to think. But if you go back to the show, like yes, you can see that Minju got a lot of screen time, but that she was also never pushed. Like she wasn't given interesting storylines. How is this these TV shows are so bad at predicting what we will do? Well, I don't know, girl. Don't ask me about it. Next one we have Iroha, and I think also Iroha is going to the highest tier. I'm sorry, I have to say it. I have to say it. Like I don't blame people who thought that Iroha was overrated in Are You Next. I don't blame them for it. Like completely at all. I don't blame them. Like girl is talented, but she was probably top three dancers of the show. She had good stage presence, and she was popular with the audience, especially with global audiences. Koreans were like they did like Iroha, but she wasn't like a priority to them. But if you see her, like the producers really favor her, especially in comparison to the other Japanese trainees, like Ruka, Funa. Hell, even they prefer her over Mocha, which we'll get into later. Iroha is so pretty, but what on earth were those shows banks on her? I don't know. Don't give banks to idols. So yeah, especially if you've seen her perform well, in Bang and in Give and Taken, where she made those mistakes. The score of Iroha was still very very high, where she was like, oh, and they will brush her off her mistakes, like she has to vocalize better. Oh, we'll give her a high score. And 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 oh gosh, I forgot what was I saying. So yeah, I think this is a first spot for Iroha, especially because they were pushing the minors on the show a lot, and she was probably one of the most favored ones. Speaking of Mocha, I will put Mocha here. That she was wanted, but she wasn't a priority. And I'll say this because Mocha wasn't given that much screen time up until the last episode of the show. Like in the middle stretch, you can start seeing Mocha more and more. especially because Mocha is really that good of a performer. Like she was probably one of the best performers in the show, in my opinion, and she was a really decent dancer. But she was always given center and spotlight parts because she earned it through her stage presence. But here's the thing: in comparison to other Japanese trainees, to the other Japanese trainee, like the popular ones like Iroha and Himena, which Himena was really pushed by the show, but seeing that Himena wasn't popular with the audience and Mocha Kana was, we're like, okay, we evil edited the Thai girls, we evil edited Ruka, and we didn't give Funa any screen time. We have to put another Japanese girl that can make it into the show, and that's why they picked Mocha. That's why I said that she was wanted, but she wasn't a priority because, especially in the votes in the finale, Mocha was 8th. I forgot that I knew these names from being online during the show before I actually knew the members from knowing the group. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Ito had the scores kind of. So yeah, I think that was the thing that pushed Mocha over the edge compared to other trainees. Hearing you describe this show, my blood pressure will rise watching it. Oh, it would, especially compared to the older trainees. Like, give me a second to rant about how they treated the older trainees as 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 the judges didn't. The judges, because the judges had a lot of power in deciding who was stay in the competition. Like, votes weren't that much of a factor until the top 12, because a lot of people were like, oh no, oh this girl made it, oh this girl also didn't make it. But I'm more upset at the treatment that trainees like Jonghyun, Chanel, Hyewon, Jiwoo, especially Jiwoo, got as the show progressed, because the judges clearly didn't like them. Well, Jonghyun, they did like Jonghyun. It she was but she was kind of left to the wayside. It was probably good you didn't watch the show. Then take care of your blood pressure, Subi. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think this is the first part from Olga. Next one we have, who do we have next? Yeah, there's a huge disconnect between what the shows want and what the audience wants, and I feel like they get worse at playing the audience. Like, say what you want about the produced series, but at least they will try to edit in a favorable light the trainees that they want to make the audience fall in love with them. Now it becomes more obvious and obvious that some of the trainees that the company does want are not the ones that the audience want. And now you have to win in groups with the most hitters because the organic faves didn't make it exactly. Like, I remember the TikTok account for Arionex looks like over 130,000 followers after Jiwoo and Chanel were eliminated. And they didn't last more because the next girl that did make it was kind of the salvation for a lot of people for Eyelid. That's Juna. Juna was really wanted. Juna was really wanted. She was probably the fan favorite for the show after G and Chanel. She was competent. She has amazing stage presence. She has eye-catching visuals. The girl can sing. She's an amazing dancer too. And she was really popular. But what happened? They stopped focusing on her. They stopped focusing on Juna during the later episodes. And what happens? Juna has to be picked in the finale because she was ranked 7th in votes. When you stop giving popular Chinese screen time, they drop in the votes. And that's what happened with Juna, that she almost didn't make it into Eyelid, which would have been devastating to see. Because I think the producers didn't want Juna, but they were willing to let her go at some point. I don't know which point, but at some point they were willing to let her go. But they were like, okay, we don't want to get more canceled than we are. We need to put at least one of the two popular trainees from the audience to make it into the show, and that's why they picked Minju. I mean, Minju was always going to make it because of her popularity with the audience, despite that the producers don't wanting her. But Juna was a toss-up because if you pick Jiwoo, for example, I put Jiwoo because Jiwoo was my number one pick, and the reason why I watched Are You Next. If you pick Jiwoo but don't pick Juna, people would have been mad because of Juna didn't making it. But if but now what happened is that Juna did make it, but Jiwoo didn't. Not gonna lie, it's so sad that people depend their picks on screen time. Like at some point in the show, you know which ones are talented and which ones are not, which ones you vibe with and which ones don't vibe. Yeah, exactly. And I think most people would have rated more towards Eilid's final lineup if Juna wasn't in the group, because Juna was really liked by everyone. Producers, well, not the producers that much, but you know what I mean. Producers, contestants, audience, especially the audience, like they were always giving Juna screen time and storylines. But at some point, they start focusing on her, which was kind of an alarm to me because I was like, okay, if we don't vote for Juna, she will might not make it. Thank God for the PD picks. Like, I'm sorry, the only time I will defend the PD pick is Juna making it into Eyelid. But yeah, I think that's overall all for Aryanex. If you're that influenced by an episode, unless it's someone performing significantly worse or better, then I don't know how people function. LOL, that's impressionable. And the editing tactics aren't really that good, if I'm being honest. Okay, I need my boss to have a little bit of a break, so we'll go back to Mai again. Sumi, defend your girl. Give me your case. Defend Mai. I will give you a little bit of time while you defend Mai. Write me a paragraph in the chat right now, and let me see if you can defend Mai's case. Yes, yes, on the English homework. Sumi, I will need more paragraphs though. I will need more. Isna would have been 7 if they had made it. Give me a second. Oh no, no, don't hit me up with the girls that get it, and the girls that don't hit me up with that. No, no. Yeah, but one thing is what the audience wants, and one thing is what the producers want. Oh wait, I didn't realize we have 7 people. Let's go. We have 7 people. Let's go. I didn't realize that. Hello to the 7 people in the chat. Oh wait, what happened here? I don't know. I don't know if I could tell it because they always pull this bullshit in survival shows where like, oh, we have an extra an extra boat. Yeah, we can continue. We can later come back to this. But I don't know. I hate this bullshit of like, oh, we have this certain amount of members in the lineup. Oh no, we don't. One of the ones that we want is not making it. Let's pull a surprise producer pick. We can be current Capra with 7 members. Exactly. Like I know that people were happy that the producer's pick happened, like the extra producer pick happened, but damn, it was crazy what of what happened. We're also 7 and Hypen, BTS. I'm trying to remember right now. Wait, who was also 7? Damn, who's also 7? I'm trying to remember. I was thinking of what GG have 7. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm trying to think right now. Who's also 7? CLC. Oh, definitely CLC. Well, now we have to be 8, so now we're current girls' generation. Anyway, let's continue. Yes, I want to share my screen. Yes, I want to this one. And yes, I will allow it. Okay, let's go back. Okay, now we have Universe Ticket, which I know many of you didn't watch it. I don't blame you for it. I didn't watch it either. I almost all of the things that I've learned were through osmosis from friends and from Into Orbit's recap series. But I think I have enough um, grasp of knowledge of the show to make a quote unquote fair judgment. Remember that most of this is from my opinion. So I want to look at the profile pictures of the members. Wait, give me a second. What do you think all of this have in common? What group is from the show? Eunice. Yeah, we can also be Dreamcatcher too. What do you think all of these members have in common? Yeah, 2 years. Stop! No, stop! It kind of looks like punk shots. No, BB Monster is from the show technically. Yeah, but we all can see through YG's bullshit. We all knew that the 7 members were reviewing. Not the mug shots, definitely. Not Justin Bieber. Why didn't the Justin Bieber are these mug shots? What group is it? It's Eunice. And for the people asking, yes, Eunice was formed from a survival show. Do should I speed run Eunice or do I give a detailed explanation for the show? Hmm. What what to do? What to do? The downfall of Eunice needs to be studied. Okay, they haven't had a downfall. I think they're the most successful they have ever been right now. Like, what do you mean? I forgot they were a thing. Most people do, but most people do. So I thought I blame you for it. So yeah, the thing that all of these girls have in common, except Hyunju, aka Belle from formerly Signature, is that all of these girls are minors. They were missing over a year and now are new. What do you mean? I don't know what I mean right now. So yeah, the thing that all of these girls have in common at the moment of their debut is that all of them except Hyunju were minors at their debut. And one of the things that most people criticize about Universe Ticket is that the show was heavily tailored towards minors in the show. So yeah, have that in your little heads while I explain the tiers. Ah, so Nayeon was right. Yeah. To make us itself a picture of how old the girls were when they debuted, Alicia was 14, Junha was 14, Nana was 16, Jelly was 16, Sowon was 12, Hyunju was 22, Juna was 14, and Kotoko was 16. I'm not sure I've heard any of their songs. Maybe Swissy or Curious or Superwoman. Maybe one of those. That's just tough. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, this is what we're dealing with right now. So you can say that almost all of them had some type of favoritism while going into the show. Yeah, 12. Someone is now 14, I think. 13 going on 14. So yeah, make sure of that. Okay, next one first we have Alicia. I think Alicia was really wanted and favored by the show because they were always pushing her as the main vocal of the show. Like the de facto main vocal of all of her teams was her, except for one specific team. And she has a lot of popularity. The Koreans love her because I think her cousin was under MLD. She was a Starship trainee, and she had support from the Philippines. Imagine your career being over once you're like 17. Yeah, definitely. That's crazy. But yeah, she had a lot of support from the Philippines. She won the show. She was the okay. One thing that I need to explain about Universe Ticket is that they had a system level where you could go up and up through cumulative points, and Alicia won the show before the finale even aired. Like she was first in the show because she reached the maximum level before the show had even ended. Sorry, the 2-year-old didn't make it past initial audition, but they were fine. Oh my god. So yeah, I won't go in super in depth with Universe Ticket because one, I haven't watched the show in full. I just have a recap to go off of. And two, I don't want to give more attention to the minors more than I have to. So yeah, I won't go super deep into the show. Yunha was rigged into the show at any cost. People were arguing, oh, Yunha was really popular. No, she wasn't. In fact, another thing that you guys need to know about Universe Ticket is that after every single round of the competition, the girls were given the opportunity to pass immediately thanks to a ticket. That's why it's called Universe Ticket. And Yunha got every single ticket to pass until the finale. She got every single ticket to pass into the show, into the finale. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, what just happened? Okay, now I'm concerned. Just paying attention to the majors, lol. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened, guys. I'm scared right now. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm scared. But yeah, Jungha was rigged into the show no matter what. And you wanna know another funny story about Jungha is that she was a trainee before the show under the company that the show was producing. So yeah, it was kind of like a video game. Nana, I think she was one. She was wanted. No, she was really wanted because they wanted her appeal and popularity. Because if of the guys that you don't know, Nana is another winner of a survival show. She was a member of Prikril. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's a group under FNC Entertainment that was in a survival show, and they're a J-pop group. So yeah, Nana was really popular with the audience in the show and the producers, but the producers essentially ruined the perception of Nana being someone worth voting for after the first elimination and promotion ceremony because they were giving her a lot of screen time, a lot of lines, a lot of favoritism. Also, too, the show was plagued with favoritism. So yeah, I think this is the first spot for Nana. Maybe I could see her putting her like this, but I think at some point she was really popular with the audience. It just so happened that the producers of the show ruined Nana's chances to be someone more popular than she was on the show. Next one we have Jelly, and I think Jelly was a non-factor for them. Jelly had also, like Alicia, she was from the Philippines. She had the Philippines supporting her, and Jelly was kind of one of the visuals of the show. The girl can sing, but she was mainly recognized for her visuals. So she was like super popular with the audience because of that. Actually, Jelly got the most points out of the entire show, but the show was never pushing her. The show never cared to push her. She was really that popular with the audience. So I think this is a spot for her. Next one we have Someone, and I think Someone is going here. No much further need to ask. There's a lot of people that suspect that University was created for Someone specifically because a lot of she's popular in Korea because she's a trap singer. She was a trap singer before going into the show. She was a musical actress, and she was also a contestant in Miss Trap Korea when she was a child. So she had like that leverage in comparison to other contestants. And the girl is super talented. I will never deny that. But 12 really. Uh, Anyways, next one we have Hyunju, and I think Hyunju would have been rigged out of the final lineup. Like the Unisys lineup is already rigged as it is, but it would have been more rigged because Hyunju made it because of support of K-pop fans. Because the signature fans a lot of signature fans resented her for leaving the group without notice, but also there were a lot that were supporting her. The Philippines were also supporting her because, fun fact, Hyunju is both Korean and Filipino, so she had the support from the Philippines too. Being a recognizable member was also helping her a lot. But I feel in my bones that if Hyunju wouldn't have made it, they would have picked either Sumin or Xion, which they were other two trainees. Sumin because she was a producer favorite, like the producers really like Sumin. Wait, let me show you guys. This girl, this girl right here. This is Sumin. At the moment of the recording of the show, she was 18 years old, so she would have been the leader. And Xian is another contestant. She was probably one of the most recognizable visuals of the show, and a lot of people wanted her for that. And she was really that popular with Koreans. But the problem is that one, she wasn't up to par in talent. She had like the Sohe Hyewan at it, and two, the girl was 14. So yeah. Next one we have Yuna, and I think Yuna was wanted, but not a priority. Yuna was kind of a quote unquote all rounder. The girl sings, dance, has nice stage presence, and she was a prominent rap candidate for the show. It's so alienating to me that this show was a thing. And trust me, the other one, the boy, the boys edition of the show was apparently so much better. I didn't watch it. Is the edition that produced H AHOC AF? I don't know how to pronounce that name. The group that has one key from Boys Planet on it. And because at the beginning, okay, let me continue so we can end this thing because my voice is kind of starting to give up. Juna was wanted from the show mainly because of the producers. There was a point where they started focusing on her, giving her screen, stop giving her that much screen time that she had again. The Yeah, stop giving screen time and stop people stop voting from her. No, she was popular with the audience, but she wasn't like that she didn't have that much votes, which was crazy because in the finale she made it. So yeah, I think it's kind of surprising. And lastly, Kotoko. I think Kotoko was rigged at any cost because of her appealing her personality, not because of her talent. Like Kotoko seems like she was fine in talent. Like she was like the definition of fine, like basic average, but thanks to her personality, bubbly spirit, and her screen time, like the girl has so much screen time. In her blonde bob, which made her noticeable among other contestants, that was the reason that she made it. Okay, I think we ended this thing. I think I'm satisfied with it right now. I think I'm satisfied. Yeah, I will say I'm satisfied with this tier list. If you guys want to do it for yourself and act like I don't know, produce or Fantasy Boys, or maybe Universe League or Island, you can do it. I will leave it in the description of the video, like the tier list that I use. But so yeah, I think this was the final tier list. It was a fun idea. Thank you to you too. Okay, I think I now have to go. I'm hungry and I'm kind of tired. My voice is starting to give up. So, any final thoughts? In the meantime, thanks for the live, bestie. Thank you to you. Thank you to you guys joining. I hope y'all don't flame me in the comments for it. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you for always being here when I do my live streams. So yeah, bye. Take care. Eat good. Eat well, and have a nice day, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are.